report. So I can say in the first one put that graph, and in the second one put this graph. If you had more reports already defined, you could put each one in there. And so what happens is when you view it, I'm going to apply these indices to the entire layout level. So the so let me do that first. So let me just do 57,125, and you can see that the plot actually has both of them, right?
Right.
Now, one of the things I could do though is they're both 57,125. I could say instead, when I go to view it, instead of doing layout level, I want to do report level. So now I pick the active report. So the active report for that one, I'm going to say I want 59,124. The active report, the second active report, I'm going to say I want 57,125, for instance. So now when we view it, we're actually looking at two different, we're comparing two different reticles. So that's really what those can be used for. They're a little bit more advanced than right now. There we go.
Where did you change it?
So when I came in here, when I went to view the layout, instead of saying layout level, I said report level. And by hitting report, so layout level basically says whatever parameter you pick here, it's going to apply it to every report in the layout. But if I do report level, I can individually control that this report I want it to be at.
I see.
I want it to be at that one, and this report I want it to be at that one. And so now when I view it, you can say I get two very different ones. The other option, the trace level one, would be that if there's multiple traces within a report, you can even control it down to that level. It gets fairly, low level. And this is an example where you could make something that was a quad. So if you wanted to compare, you can make a layout. Let me add another one. Add a quad. And because I only have the one graph, I'll just put the same graph in all of them again. But so now when we view that, I'll just have it plot all the same ones, but we could have plotted something that had 4 different things in it so that we could see. And then we can say, okay, take that and open Word and show it to me. Where'd it go? There we go. So.
Yeah. I see.
So those are a few of the things that you can do.
I guess.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. The last thing I need to know is how can I extract the data and tabulate?
Yeah, so let's do that next. So now let's add a new report. So same area, we go back to out to reports, and we have to build a new one based on tabular reporting.
No, okay, now it's graph. I just need to tabulate data.
Okay, so same on the tabular. Did you copy it from the previous one, or how did you go about doing it?
No, I didn't copy.
Okay, that's fine. So go back to define data then. Let's see what you put in for data. I might have missed it. Okay, so you have to start here by putting in your data, what it is you actually want in the report. So.
I prefer copy.
So one of the things about the copy is, let's say you say tabular report and you give it a new name, and you say copy it from the previous one. It doesn't matter, unfortunately. It doesn't matter that you told it the new one's going to be tabular. When you say add, because it copies, go back to the report level. It automatically put it to graph, so you have to change it back to tabular because it did a copy.
Okay, so we can change it here.
It said you wanted me to copy, so that's what I did. I made a graph. So.
Display plan. Okay.
Yep.
No should okay.
So why don't you go ahead and print that, just run that one the way it is, just for the moment, and see what it looks like. Not that's what you want, but now you just say view up top.
Okay. Maybe okay, just one
Yeah,
particular.
try one first and then see. Okay, so you're basically getting the VG in that. So now, and at the very top, it's telling you what reticle. So you
Okay.
could parse that out if you needed it. Okay, but now let's go do all of them. So now do.
I can.
Okay,
export,
yeah, you
right?
can export. Yeah, go right ahead. Yeah, do all
Yeah,
that.
and then that's the origin data you can process.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I guess both are okay.
Either one really
Yeah,
can load
yeah,
in nowadays. So it's,
Okay. So just. Okay, I forgot the.
You don't need to save it now. 你可以一会儿再查。
So, I think if I want to save it, I need to define the reticle number here, so I know which device I'm testing.
Which
Okay. Fine. And now we have to view.
so just go down by where the reticle is and just start one.
Oh, okay. We can. So both the tablet and the layout can be switched from here.
Yes, right. Yeah, you don't have to go back in and set them up.
Okay.
So this one probably has quite a bit of data, but it's all on top of each other.
Okay.
So now if you want it to be all in columns, this is where you would go back to the tabular report setup. Next one over that one. Yeah. And then click on the tab up top where it says column looping options. Make it star one. So now it's any.
What's all?
What's what?
Oh,
It's all
It's
here.
all-
I think in our case it's the same as star one.
In our case, it's the same. Yeah, you could loop all. It just says loop all of them. So for instance, if you had VG and VD, it could loop. You could have like hundreds of columns of all the VGs with their associated VDs, and the next set of VGs with their set of VD, and so forth. So
Anything we need to change?
no, that's all. That is if you. Some people
Frequency.
take data for S parameters, and
Oh.
they take it higher in frequency than they need it, and then they see where the data gets bad, and they chop it off so they can make nice reports. That's really cool.
Display load index. Where is this?
Yeah,
Let's
some of
try
these are
that.
best to get the feel. The best thing to do is play with them and see how
Yeah,
they go.
yeah.
So let's try this one first and see how this does. And then you can just view it from up there. And whatever the last one you edited here is selected up here, so you always can just easily go back and forth.
Okay, that makes.
So now you've got them all going that way, and that can be exported as a CSV or text file as well.
Great.
And you can export it instead of you showing the plot right now and then you going up to file export. You can go into the script and under layout say layout and have it exported automatically, so that let's say you weren't around and you needed this data, and you could call up and you could say, hey, can you run the IDVBG wafer full report script, and someone could put the wafer on, run it, and all your reports would come out even if they didn't know what to do. So that's the benefit of it. Or even if you're me, you'll forget what you did the last time. This way, it's there. You don't have to.
That's
Oh,
true.
I meant
yeah.
to do this
yeah.
report. Especially if you don't do them as often. So.
Great. I think that's.
Do you want to make the report automatically?
I guess data is more
generate
important.
He doesn't want to stand any
No,
longer.
I